Do you love your wife, Doug? I rolled my eyes, baffled that this man, short and balding with a penchant for dragging his words, believed that appealing to my love for my wife would persuade me to purchase his damned insurance. Taking a lengthy sip of bourbon, at least appreciating his choice of a top-shelf drink, I thought about my promise to my friend Tony. Tony had been relentless, insisting that I needed to have a chat with this guy. Tony wasn't one to fall for such tricks, just like me. He claimed it was crucial, so here I was. I'd heard that the food at this hotel was excellent, and the complimentary lunch had been as expected. The conversation had been polite, sports, the market, careful sidesteps around politics. As the waiter cleared our plates, Dennis unleashed his pitch. "All right, I'll go along with it for Tony's sake," I agreed. "Of course, I love my wife." "No, Doug. Do you love Susie?" My attention suddenly sharpened. "How do you know my wife's name?" I couldn't recall disclosing that tidbit during our conversation. He placed a hotel key card on the table, still in its packaging, his expression devoid of emotion. "This is the key to the room where I'm going to be with your wife tonight." "What the hell is this supposed to be?" I demanded, my face ablaze. "Look, Dennis, I appreciate the lunch, but I think you've crossed a line." He grinned. "I'll bet she was on fire when she pulled you into bed the day before yesterday." My body jerked to a halt. "How did you know about that?" I stammered. "It was the best sex we've had in years." "Was she wearing those Yvette thongs, the ones with black lace and a matching overlay?" "Oh my God," I whispered. "She showed them to me the day before yesterday. She was planning to go upstairs, but I convinced her to wait until tonight. She must have been pretty excited." "No," I choked. "I bet you thought she was trying to make up for the fight you had on Monday. You know, the one where you claimed you had to work late. I don't think you realized she could smell the perfume when you got home. And she was furious at your remark about her being cranky that time of the month." My heart sank. That bastard had been seeing Susie for a while now, way too long. She had confided everything in him about us. How could she fall for a short, balding old fart? "She warned you that she'd be occupied tonight, didn't she?" "Business dinner. Residential areas. With 2 new clients. That's what she told me. That's why she arranged for a sitter when she found out I was working late." Shit. What could I do? I contemplated confronting Susie and pleading with her not to see him. If I threatened divorce, would she relent? She would get the kids and half of everything I had. After our breakup, she could have him in our bed whenever she pleased. This moron was about to sleep with my Susie, and there was nothing I could do about it. "Please, Dennis," I begged, the only option left. "Please don't." The waiter brought the bill. Dennis placed his credit card on the tray. "She was quite easy," he remarked. "She just wanted some attention. When was the last time you missed her?" What do you mean? We talk all the time." Dennis shook his head, grinning at me. "But were you actually attentive? Or did you just nod along while thinking about work?" He couldn't know about that. Could he? "How long has it been since you sent her flowers, Doug? You know she loves roses. How long has it been since you invited your wife to lunch instead of your secretary? If you stopped by her workplace just once, you might see the pink napkins I bought for her desk last week." "Oh, shit. How long has that son of a bitch been working on her? When was the last time you made her feel like a woman, not just a mother and housekeeper? When was the last time you told her how much you needed her?" A wave of guilt washed over me. It was my fault. Now, I feared it might be too late. He leaned forward, narrowing his eyes. "Once I get my hands on your sweet Susie, she'll never be yours again. Every time she has sex with you, she'll be thinking of me." "What do you want?" "Anything. I'll give you anything, just please don't do it." He paused, holding up 3 fingers. "I want 3 things," he said. I swallowed. Did he expect me to do something perverse? I didn't care. I'd do whatever it took to keep him away from Susie. "First, you stop having sex with Katie." "All right," I agreed hastily, fearing what his next demands might be. "What else?" "Your dear wife will be in the lobby at precisely 7:30 in the evening. You know how punctual she is. I'll arrive at 7:35. You'll have 5 minutes to convince her." "Oh my God," I whispered, tears blurring my eyes, which I quickly wiped away with my sleeve. "5 minutes, Doug. Give it your best shot. If you can't manage it, then it's my turn. I'll tell you this. Susie has been eagerly awaiting me in her bed for a long time." 5 minutes. Damn. How could I do it? Flowers, perhaps? No, just one flower. I needed to listen to her, just as he'd suggested. I'd truly neglected her, hadn't I? Work was dreadful, but I'd made it worse. 5 damned minutes. Shit. I hadn't noticed Dennis getting up. He observed me intently. "Well done, Doug. You'll need it." He walked away, already out the door before I remembered. What was the third thing? That's when I saw the key card he'd left on the table. The room number was indicated on the packaging. I smiled. It was time to meet her. She was beautiful, sitting there all alone, dressed elegantly in champagne. Her outfit highlighted her brown hair's natural highlights, and she anxiously checked her watch. It was now 7:29. I almost hoped he would change his mind. Few things were more satisfying than taking a woman like her away from some self-absorbed idiot who'd given up on his neglected wife. Wait. Here he comes, dressed sharply in his suit. There was only a single rose. Nice touch. Did he have what it took to pull this off? Or was this the end? After doing this so many times, I was never quite certain of the outcome. She spotted him, her eyes widening in concern as she quickly scanned the room for me. Her fear was hard to watch. Even from my concealed spot at the bar, I could see the glistening tears in her eyes. She had been caught. She thought the marriage was over. We'd see. Maybe it was. He leaned in to kiss her, and she appeared embarrassed when he offered the rose. They sat down at the table, and he took her hand across the table. Their conversation was brief. She brought her hand to her lips, and I think he apologized. Nicely done, I thought. She then reached for both of his hands, clinging to them tightly. She nodded, responding to his question. The word yes appeared on her smiling lips, accompanied by tears of happiness and hope. The waiter appeared, and their conversation was brief, just a few seconds. The waiter tucked the bill into his apron and walked away with a shrug. The two of them got up from the table, embracing one another. Their kiss was long and affectionate. They left the restaurant hand in hand, turning towards the elevators. Well, it looked like they'd have something to do in the room tonight while I had a date with Rosie and her sisters. I couldn't say I was too disappointed. It was a win-win. She was incredibly attractive, but it was better this way. I raised my glass to their long-lasting marriage. I'd wait a few weeks before contacting Doug to see how it all played out. The next time I jokingly asked him if he loved his wife, his response would be completely different. He would be grateful. He would gladly sign the insurance policy. I bet his behavior would change for good. As usual, he'd get a discount if he agreed to give me a personal referral, just like his friend Tony did. I had a strong feeling that Katie's husband, Doug's secretary, wouldn't be quite as understanding. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.